Hello and welcome back to the Time on Feet podcast. I'm Melissa.
And I'm George.
And today we are here talking to you about support through big training blocks. You know, why we don't and can't do big training blocks alone. But first, let's do a little check-in and see how we are doing. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We just finished a trail run.
I feel like you always ask me first.
I know.
How I am.
Because I do the intro.
Yeah.
And then I want to put you on the spot.
You do.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, but you can ask me first. I'll just volunteer.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. We just finished a trail run, which makes me feel alive, especially given the fact that we have been road running forever.
Yeah.
342 years we have been on the road and pavement. So to hit the trail feels so good.
It does.
So we did a 12K in the trails on the dirt, and we were just cruising.
Injury free
Since 93. Yeah, so it was good. How are you?
I'm good. I just ate 6 fish tacos.
Yeah.
Shrimp tacos.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so full.
Post trail.
Yeah.
Fuel.
Shout out to Costco, pre-made taco kits.
You like to shout out.
Why not? Costco earned it.
Yeah. Costco, you make zero money.
Kirkland's earned a place.
You need our help.
They have bargains.
I know. I'm surprised you don't have one of the sweatshirts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yet.
Yes.
Do they make running gear?
No.
Come on, Costco, $1 million idea.
Could be a thing.
Well, it's at least $100,000 idea.
Yeah. So how are you?
Good and full.
Ults?
But I was going to say, beat up on roads. I have this pod will come out after I run Woodies and possibly after you run Calgary. So when listeners are listening to this, just because we have to spread them out a little bit, right? We have full-time jobs. Mm-hmm. We've gone over this in the past. So this will come out after, but I have the Woodies full marathon in less than 2 weeks, and I feel tired, and I feel a little nervous because we just did a 30K on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was harder than I thought it should have been. And that might sound kooky when we're talking about 30 kilometers, but
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I didn't fuel it properly, and I paid the consequences for
Mm-hmm.
that. And I fear that as this is my first road marathon, I don't even know how I'm going to hold all my stuff. We kind of have a plan etched out where you're going to throw some fluids my way halfway through the race. But
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the fluid consumption. Like I sweat
Yeah.
a ton and I put a lot of stuff in my body. So I'm fretting at my feet hurt.
Mm-hmm.
My body feels tired, not broke, but
Mm-hmm.
tired. So that's good. It's a good place to be. Last week was by far, I think, my largest mileage week with 70 kilometers.
Yeah,
logged.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So that's probably part of it. And yeah, I'm excited to get going with that, but happy we got to get on a trail run today. It was
Mm-hmm.
really, it's nice. Tricks like we were talking, it adds fuel to your brain a little bit. You get to trick your brain. You're not really as focused on the running, if that makes sense. You're kind of just out there in the environment, taking it all in. There's a lot more inputs, while simultaneously being less. You know if the car is zipping
Mm-hmm.
by it, but you need to pay attention to where you're putting your feet, what you're doing. So that was really nice. It was a good change of pace. And then the 6 fish shrimp tacos capped it off.
Yeah, the trails really they force you to be present.
Yeah.
And so which is great because it's present in nature and present with what you're doing in your feet, and your mind can't wander too much,
Mm-hmm.
which I find is super calming and that kind of thing. Whereas the road, your mind can kind of wander and you can just almost ruminate about the stress of the day too and the things that you have. And while running helps, it sometimes doesn't take you out of that, right? So trail running really takes you out of that. But yeah, and I think, you mentioning that you're tired and you've had a big week of training is really what spurred us to talk about support and the importance of support through big training blocks, and why we can't and shouldn't and don't do this alone, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely, it takes a village to help any of us kind of accomplish and achieve our goals. And so that's why we wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, I think more you than me.
Yeah.
My big block doesn't really exist because I don't follow any particular planning.
And that could be a training block as it relates to, I mean, a 10K, like preparation for a 10K, a half, a full, or an ultra.
Oh, for sure.
Or even any larger distances. But yeah, we wanted to talk about this because I think it's important to give a shout out to the people who support us in our lives and why we need them and the importance of it. So, why do we really need support? Like, I mean, the training involves so much time management, organization, help. We get stressed, we get overwhelmed. I think that that's a big point as far as why we need the support is that time commitment, right?
Yeah.
And I think that to have a partner or a person, this doesn't just have to be kind of your intimate partner, but it could also be the supportive family or friends or whoever's in your corner. I think that having people who understand that time commitment is really important and who can help you move through that, right? And reallocating your time.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things where we just, I think the slog that can be that training phase, that block, it just becomes all consuming sometimes. So yeah, when we were chit chatting about this, we felt like it was something we could highlight because, as you stated, we can't do it alone. You need the people there, you need the community, you need your family, you need your friends, whatever it might be. And we, realizing full well that this can look so different for everyone, right? Like we kind of debated, like, should we talk about, how to properly support somebody, what that might look like. And then we got to the point where through discussion, we realized like we can't really do that because support looks so different for everyone. And that, for someone that might be quite a literal hands-on support where their partner's helping them with everything, run-wise, prep-wise, even crewing them for long runs and things of that nature. We know people who have family support that do that, partner support. For others, it might just be about altering the way they communicate and organizing their lives to the best of their abilities, optimizing on things like that. So, yeah, for us, we felt like it's important because it's a need. You don't run in a microcosm. You often do, but you have people around you. You have people in your life in one facet or another, whether it be, like you said, a parent or an intimate partner or family at large, friends. And we get support. We draw support from those people in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
And again, we just wanted to highlight the fact that you need it. And
so why do you think that we need it? Like for you personally? Yeah. And again, it's hard to generalize because everyone's different, but why do you feel like you need support through a training block, whether it's a large training block or even just through running training in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that can be very isolating. If you're out there and you're pounding the pavement, or you're in the trails, or you're in the weight room and you're doing accessory work all the time, it's easy to get lost in it. And time just we lose it. It goes by so quick. And it can take a lot, even for a recreational runner. If you want to do it safely and you want to do it right and you want to run with a bit of a competitive edge, then you're gonna put a lot of time in.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't just materialize out of nowhere. It takes planning, it takes preparation, and it takes communication, and then it takes asking for help sometimes. So, for me, what that looks like with you, fortunately, I have a partner that loves running and embraces my needs to run. And my
but even like you also train at the gym more than you train running. So that could be your like quote training.
So I think like outside of having a general appreciation for it and what I do, the support comes through action. It's being there and communicating with me, talking about my activity and expressing an interest in what I do, supporting me through, organization of a day, a week. That can be one of the more like bang for your buck, kind of an understated thing. Setting up blocks of time, using a family calendar, things like that we currently have to know what the day looks like, what the week looks like coming up. Super beneficial. It makes it happen, right? I think the difference in having the support and not is that without that support, some of the stuff just doesn't happen. Juggling kids, juggling dogs, juggling work, juggling other social commitments, recreational projects, cheering committee, things like that. Like we all have our things, right? And they don't just slot in magically. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes organization, communication.
Yeah.
And then again, asking for the support, help, talking to you and working through a plan, making sure that I can achieve what I need to achieve to get my shot, or to give myself a shot at, achieving an end goal, whether that be in a race or some other pursuit, right?
Yeah. And I think too, support, like psychologically, you can feel it can be hard to be the person who is training and going through a big training block and having to take so much time away from the home.
Yeah.
And so to have someone who does communicate and understand and appreciate your sport or what you're doing can be a super huge relief, because psychologically you can feel that guilt, right? Yeah. You can feel the guilt from being away from home, being away from your partner or family, or even like saying no to social outings and dinners and to time with friends. That can really pack on a lot of guilt and make you really question if what you're doing is really worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel that guilt. It can be real. I think I had expressed that to you, that this week I felt that when I went out for a run. I was like, oh, like, are you sure it's okay?
Yeah.
Did I go right now? I could help you put the groceries away. I could do this.
Because I just got home from the worst place imaginable.
You guys won't believe it. Kirkland.
Speaking of, you love it, and I'm like,
yeah,
we're opposite that way. I hate a shopping trip, but yeah, you felt that way. You said.
I felt that way, and you were very, very encouraging to the. I thought you were shooing me away. Like, no, go.
I was, because you were like kind of lingering around. You're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I can put the groceries away."
Yeah.
But even that, right? I didn't know until you said it. I was like, why is he
Just
like,
go.
does he not want to go? I was like, no, go.
Yeah.
And you said after it's because you felt guilty for me just getting home with groceries and having to put them away.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want to put the groceries away. Buzz off. Go do your run. Because I was like, why is he hanging out?
Yeah.
You were all ready to go, but.
Oh, totally. But that sort of thing happens from time to time.
Yeah.
It's not an all the time thing, but that was, like I said, that was the biggest week that I had, and I was like, shit, I've been running a lot.
But I understand it now. Like the very fact you communicated after and said, oh, I felt guilty. I was like, oh, well, I could have been like, don't feel guilty. Like, I didn't know that's what you were feeling. I just, I don't know, didn't think you wanted to go.
Right.
But
that mental piece, that's big too. And I think for me, having the support of a partner and family, friends, it's great in alleviating that stress, right? You can, with a clean conscience, get out there and do what you need to do to be successful. Race day.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And then I think that it helps just alleviate some extra stress, right? Because already, inherently you have a lot of stress because you are preparing for something that's big in your life and a goal, something you've been dedicated to for a number of weeks. And so if you have, if friends are asking you to go out for dinner and you say, I'm sorry, I just can't, like I have to get the run in, and they meet you with, I totally understand, no worries, let's do it next time. That really gives you a sense of relief for them to give you that grace, right? And to say, like, it's okay, instead of, oh, you never come out with us anymore. You're so busy running, or whatever they might say, right? Sure. But because then you feel more guilty, because there is a lot of things we have to say no to just to fit in time, with family and to do, to pursue our goals.
Yeah,
right?
It's a bit of a balancing act, right? We say no to all things, house maintenance, cleaning.
No, we clean.
But yeah, no, I'm so happy to have you, because my friend group ridicules me. To those guys,
you're like, they make you feel guilty.
Probably not going to listen to our podcast, but they will shit talk me to the to the cows come.
They make you feel all the guilt.
They are not supportive. At all. But I have that with you. So
yeah.
At least if
you only need one.
You only need one. Yeah, we could definitely, that could be the statement of the episode for sure.
So how do you think and this will look different for everyone, but how do you feel, or like, I guess, how would you suggest that someone best support a runner? Or, and I mean, we're opening up to the broader spectrum of, whether you're doing a triathlon or something
Right.
like that as well, but how to best support someone in their endeavors and in their sport.
Well, and like we started on, we talked about this, and we didn't want to get too specific, but I mean, the question's valid. It's just, it needs to be tailored to the person. So what I think we had highlighted here was that communication was key.
Yeah.
Right off the hop, you need to be clear with your partner, right? Let them know, or with the people that are impacted by your sport of choice.
Yeah.
Let them know what you're doing, why it's important to you. What you're hoping to accomplish if you have sport-specific goals, and if not, why it's important to you to have that in your life and what that looks like, and speak your truth. Tell them what you need, and hopefully you have people that surround you with that support that you seek, and that it can look a million different ways. But be specific with what you need. Communicate it clearly. Communicate it often. Write it down. Helps to write things down. For me, that's probably the most paramount thing.
And I think you have to be honest. Like you said, be specific. Like, hey, this week I'm really ramping up my volume. It's a high volume week, or a high mileage week. I might be extra tired, a little bit moody, maybe extra hungry. So please bear with me. Like, almost, if you start,
I'm going to need 6 shrimp tacos tonight, please.
I'm going to need my dinner ready when you get home, and I'm going to need a massage. Absolutely. But also, just like, here's what I need from you this week. And it doesn't have to be, we're not trying to put our partners, put more on their shoulders, especially if they're home watching the family or whatever while you're out running. But you even just phrase it like, here's what I need from you, is just a little bit more understanding, because I might be a little bit more irritable and more tired, or I might need to go to bed earlier for recovery. And so, like you said, communication and being honest, because we're all going to need different things, and it really depends on our week. And then also be honest about the scheduling too. Like, there is no way that I can get 2 1-hour dog walks in. So how can we make this work so that
reminds me, I have to walk the dog.
Yeah, that's a to-do. That's a task we still have to do. But so I think you're right. I think it's gonna, how to best support your partner is gonna look different for everyone. But you have to almost sit down and have that conversation, because we are just like everyone else, where there's competing priorities on the daily. Many of us have full-time jobs or full-time tasks or priorities that we're doing, and running is just recreational. It's a side, right? And accomplishing our goals is something that's a priority for us, but it's also not our main gig.
Yeah, not the primary focus. Yeah. Though it can be.
Yeah, I would like it to be. Try and make it my primary focus every day. It just doesn't work.
So yeah, exactly. I'm trying. It's not manifesting.
yeah, exactly.
I thought it would. Let's talk you.
Yeah. So what we talked about was, really having that support through these big training blocks. And we kind of brought it back to me because I have the relationship, am in and have been in quite a large training block since January, where I've really done.
Or November.
Like, really November. I know we were talking about it. It's almost like there has been no break.
Since January 2025.
Yeah, but I've been following a really specific schedule. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my personal experience with the training block, because I think the one thing that we do, and the thing that I tend to do, is I tend to chalk everything up to, oh, well, I didn't quite just get enough sleep, and, work was too busy today, and that's why I feel maybe irritable or emotional or tired. But I think it really is important, as many of the people and friends that I've talked to in the running community are saying, like, we're all tired, and there's massive things at play when you're training for a marathon, or for a half even, or for a long run, and you're really exerting yourself like that. That physical load and fatigue leads to, fibers in your body breaking down and repairing, the cumulative strain on your muscles and your body as a whole, your glycogen stores being depleted, and your stress hormones, like your cortisol, going through the roof, right? Like, endurance and sports, and running in particular, is huge for hormone stress. And so basically that results in, for me, like fatigue, heaviness in the legs, disrupted sleep, and slower recovery day to day, right?
Yeah.
And that's just the physical experience of a training block. And then on top of that, that's your central nervous system fatigue, right? And what that looks like is your emotional regulation's off. Your reactivity and reaction to things is off. That can lead to some sharpness. And so that high mileage plus the intensity is your nervous system being asked to fire on a consistent basis.
Right.
And what that leads to is increased irritability and reduced motivation, which is interesting because you need the motivation to continue your training block, but your central nervous system continuing to fire reduces your need and desire and drive to be motivated. But it also leads to like being wired but tired feeling. Like I feel that all the time where I'm
That's
like,
a good way to catch it.
yeah, there'll be times where you'll be like, you're just like kind of buzzing and I'm like so exhausted, but it's almost, you're almost hyper, you're wired because your central nervous system is out of whack. And then it also leads to a flat and unresponsive or lower response kind of weight, like a flat affect, which is interesting because I didn't realize until I started doing some real research about marathon training, because there's a lot of times where I'm very neutral about things, right? And the energy is just not there. I'm not low energy and not high energy. I'm just like flat. So, but I mean, and that's a huge part of being within a training block. And then also just that emotional and mental, like psychological fatigue and strain. It's the competing priorities. It's the missed social events like we talked about. It's also the highs and the lows of the run. You have a great run, you have a bad run, you have a great run, you have a bad run, and that can be really mentally taxing. And then it's that capacity to cope. It totally shrinks when your body's going through all these things, right? So I think that leads to like your neural signals firing all wonky in your brain. And I think what we do is we underestimate really the toll that marathon training can take on a person in their body head to toe, right? Your energy availability and your mood totally changes. And that's decision fatigue and all those sorts of things. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this just highlights really like the vital importance of having a support person in your life to be able to truly have people in your corner to understand the changes in our bodies and through our moods and that sort of thing. Because there have been times where I am like so emotional, like maybe not outwardly, but inwardly, and taking things too seriously. And it can be like a central nervous system thing. And so to have your support from my personal experience throughout my training block, because I have a high volume training block. Like since January, I've been doing upwards of more or less 100 kilometers a week, kind of on average. And that's hours on the road or the treadmill, hours at my job full time, hours walking dogs, hours with family. And family is important to us, and community and volunteering too in a couple different areas. And so without your understanding and support in what I'm doing and understanding that I could be moody due to just the sheer fatigue, right, of the mind and the body, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
I would have been kicked to the curb long ago because you would have been like,
just a tip to our male listeners: if you find that you're in a support for a female partner in your life and they're moody, make sure you point it out right away and do that often.
Why are you so mad?
Yeah.
Why so cranky?
Yeah. The more passive aggressive, the better. They won't understand it right away.
Yeah.
But the payoff happens down the road.
So as a male partner, you should actually be buying ice cream, offering massages, and making sure the kids are fed, the dogs are walked.
One can endeavor.
One can only hope. But I think that, because you do go through so many changes and it can be so taxing, like that support is the only way that I can achieve my goals, is the very fact that you're like, you can be gone and I'll make sure things are done on this end. I'll leave early or go at lunch and walk dogs or whatever. And then come home and say, I won't be home for dinner. And your understanding of that. But otherwise I'd be running well into the night each night, get even less sleep than I already do. and really not be able to be as I was going to say successful, as successful as I am at running. No, but as successful at achieving my goals, honestly, right? Because there's been many goals last year that we were able to accomplish and hit together.
Yeah.
And goals that have, kind of been
And for
developed.
us, that how that support looks is, it's personal. It's what you need from me, what I need from you.
Yeah.
And we can achieve that through that frequent communication and talking about what we need.
Yeah.
But component of it might be intuitive because we both are pursuing a similar sport, same sport. And that's great if you have that shared relational experience with running, but a lot of people don't. So I think the communication piece is paramount at that. And you know, that I think it makes the enjoyability factor higher if you can be on the same page and seek and receive the support that you need with whatever you're doing. Especially with a sport like ultra trail running, marathon running, longer distance running, 5K, 10K, things that take up time, considerable time. It's just so vital to have that communication and to have that, that support in your corner.
Yeah. And honestly, to cross the finish line and see that person who supported you throughout your entire training block and helped you achieve this goal, like there's nothing like it, right? Because you can't do it alone. And so it's very much like we did this together, right? In a way. So
yeah. And I think, thank you for sharing your story there. And, I know you do high volumes, which is not necessarily something that a lot of people do. And I can say like the support is, it takes mindfulness, right? You have to be aware and you have to be, responsive and respectful to your partner. And, it's not always easy all the time, but it's usually easy. So that's a good thing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, it will look different for everyone. But with that said, any takeaways, any suggestions for our listeners in terms of?
I don't know. Like, I think that it depends on what phase you are in life and what your support system looks like. And that could be your mom and dad, and that could be your, your friends or your family or just other people in your corner, your colleagues, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it could be your kiddos that you're talking to or whatever. But I think that it looks different for everyone. And only you know what you need to kind of help support your goals. And I think that if people love you and are in your corner, except for your friends, I guess, they're going to want to support you and be there for you. But no, realistically, and I know they just bug you, but realistically, like, I mean, your people in your corner are going to do what they can to make your dreams come true and to help you. Right. And so, and it takes, sacrifice on my side too. Like I said, I'll wake up extra early to get things done to lighten your load a little bit. Like, it's not just you supporting me. It's kind of us trying to support one another in the things that we're doing. I think it's that mutual respect.
It doesn't make it easy.
No.
Just because you have support doesn't make this pursuit easy.
No.
It's still friggin' hard.
Yeah. It makes it possible.
Makes it possible,
but not easy. Yeah, totally.
Don't swim upstream.
Yes, exactly. So So if you guys have any suggestions or even comments about, how you felt supported by, and it could even be the support of your running friends in your running community. I mean, when I first started running, that's exactly what it was. I don't even think I invited my family to my first race because I thought,
and not everyone's coupled. Not everyone has an intimate partner.
Yeah.
And they seek support elsewhere, and it exists elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And so, your running friends or whatever community that looks like, but
run clubs, very supportive, motivating groups to be a part of.
Yeah. So let us know what you.
I hear they don't let me in.
Yeah, you're not allowed. They've banned you from all local clubs. But let us know kind of what you guys, I can't talk. We're not.
I think what you see in the sport world, like what matters to you, what you see out there.
Yeah.
Tips for runners that are getting into it, those that have been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Any comments at all?
Yeah.
Would be super good.
Any comment, please, for the love of God. give us a comment. No, but yeah, no, thanks for listening to us today. We just thought it was important. I know so many people are ramping up for road runs. Like
Yep.
it is training season, or sorry, race season is in full effect now.
It is.
Really the beginning of May is really when we come alive with all the races, especially in Canada. And so, yeah, support is absolutely vital. We wouldn't be able to do it alone.
Get out there, achieve your goals, and ask for help along the way.
Absolutely. So
Cool.
thanks for listening.
Time on Feet podcast signing off.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.